This is DezPlays, and welcome back to World of Warships. Now today I have another replay for you, this time from the Japanese Tier 6 cruiser, the Aoba. Now I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if you liked the Furitaka, and I did like the Furitaka once I had it upgraded, then you're going to love this ship. Stock, I think this is one of those ships, one of those very few ships out there that when you get it without any upgrades on it at all, it performs extremely well. If you took the time to learn how to play the Furitaka. I'll add that little caveat in there. Now, if you want to get directly to the action, click on the box in the bottom right. If you'd like to stick around to hear the vital statistics, then by all means, stick around. So, unupgraded, and you will see that I don't have this fully upgraded yet. You're starting with hit points of 26,300. Upgraded, you're getting, I think, 30,400. It's 30,000 something. Aircraft, don't really care. My favorite thing about this ship, the guns. Now, you still have 6 of the 203mm guns that you had on the Furitaka. The traverse time is a little bit worse at 31.6 seconds. But these guns make up for that with a rate of fire of 5.5 rounds per minute as opposed to your 4 rounds per minute with the upgraded Furitaka guns. So instead of a 14-second reload, you're looking at just under an 11-second reload. And 3 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. So let's see what else is there. We still have the 10-kilometer torpedoes doing 16,000 damage each, which are great. The problem though, versus the Furitaka, is remember how I was saying the Furitaka has a fantastic arc that you can launch your torpedoes with. The Aoba, where are they at? The Aoba torpedoes are mounted here, and thus you can't shoot them. You can't aim them pretty much forward of this line right here. So it's pretty much from like here back to like there. So in order to launch these torpedoes effectively, you have to swing the ship wide and expose your citadels, and that's really not something you want to do in Japanese cruisers. So there is that limitation on them, but they are still great if you can get a hit. Now, in terms of maneuverability, you have a max speed of 34.9 knots, which is 2 kilometers better than the Cleveland. You have a little bit worse of a turning circle radius than the Cleveland, and I think a second more in rudder shift time. In my experience with this ship is that it is a little bit sluggish or not as responsive as I would like it to be, but it is good enough. So overall, not a huge, I think that's probably my only complaint, or my only big complaint about this ship is the maneuverability. Everything else I think is just fine. I think we covered everything that I really wanted to talk about right now, so let's get to the action. Alright, so here we go. This is a Tier 6 game on the brand new Solomon Islands map. This is one of the 2 new maps that we got with the 4.1 patch. Now, what is my opinion on this? It's new. I haven't quite figured it out yet, and I fear change, so I don't like it. But I have had a couple of good games on here, today especially, so I'm starting to get it. And regardless of how I feel about the layout of the map and everything, it's really gorgeous. I think I mentioned this in the clip from the other day with Wong Lee playing chicken with a battleship. But the trees, look at those trees. This is beautiful. But anyway, back to the map. The interesting thing about this is while you have these big islands separating the map down the middle, you do have this large gap in the middle as well for destroyers to hang out and stuff. I'm not going in there. You couldn't pay me to go in there in this ship. And as well, you have these gaps in the island, like right there. And if I was in a Cleveland, I would definitely take that shot. I was in a Myogi on this map the other day, and I was more than capable of arcing shots over there and getting some nice hits on people. But enough about that. So what's the plan for this battle? Well, starting over on this side, we're going to head down to the south, towards that corner. And then when we get close, or when we make first contact, going to make a hard left, and then angle the ship so we can shoot back and to the right. If they keep chasing, I will keep falling back. If they fall back, then I will chase them. Got this Mitsuki here on our right, and that's important. I don't want to be the first ship up there. I'm going to let him be the first ship up there. And he's fired a speculative shot towards the corner, and hoping maybe he can catch somebody on the edge. But they run out of range. So we got a Congo down there, and I start my turn, you can see, because I have a rational, or rather irrational fear of Congos. Ooh, but we have a Phoenix. This is much more to my liking. Some shots out, and Citadel. And there's half his health right there. See if we can do it again. And yeah, that's our first kill right there. How do you like that reload compared to the Furitaka? And we have another Phoenix up to bat. Let's see what we can do to him. Now he's angled against us a whole lot better, and that's probably because he's dodging those torpedoes and worried about that destroyer up there. But we should be able to get a couple good hits on him. I'll take that, 4,000 damage. Now I should mention that I started my turn because I was worried about the Congo, and I would much rather do a fighting retreat than, you know, keep going towards him. But the Mitsuki up there did a fantastic job of getting him to turn around. And you can see his guns are pointed the wrong way. He's effectively out of this fight without having done any damage to me whatsoever, or that Mitsuki, I think. But he died. Great team player. Kudos to you. But he's gone. Unfortunately, there's no XP reward for doing that, but that was great what he did right there. Really helped turn this flank, because now that Congo's on the run. And his guns are still pointed the wrong way. Now, I am still shooting AP at this guy, because we've got 203mm guns. With plunging fire from this range, we should be able to penetrate his deck armor to do some damage. But I'm not getting the results that I want, so I switch over to AG. Plus, we have a destroyer that we're going to need to deal with as well. Come on, Congo, burn. Yep, Congo's on fire now. Let's see if we can damage this destroyer. And knocked his engine out. And that's just gonna put him right into those torpedoes. I'm assuming he repaired it, but it's not enough to get him out of that. Now we go back for that Congo. Now what you're seeing here is usually the way that I like to shoot, where, you know, zoom in, take the shot, scope out, take a quick look around, and then scope back in to watch the fall of the shells to see if I'm on target or not. But I am so focused on taking down this Congo that I have failed. I'm suffering from tunnel vision here. I have failed to notice that we've won the left. Our right flank is just completely gone. And our carriers are vulnerable. I should notice that pretty soon here. Pretty soon here, I said. Note it? Yeah, there we go. So, time to finish off this Congo and fall back. We got the carrier up there, but I'm pretty sure the DDs can handle that without my help. So, make a turn. And here is where that chat bug that I was talking about before really, really annoys me, because I was trying to tell these cruisers that, hey guys, we're being flanked, we need to fall back and defend the carriers, and I can't do it. But at least one of them notices, so good on him. I mean, I know the best way to defeat an enemy team is to show them your carrier, because everybody will shoot at the carrier instead of you. But these guys showed some pretty good judgment in deciding to come back. Now our Bogue is in trouble up there. He's got a Minikaze on him. And I don't think there's any way I can get there in time. Minikaze is going to close that distance. Bogue is not going to get away. And unless I can get some long-range fire on him, which is extremely unlikely, I mean, he's dead. But we shall do our best. That's all that we can do. Like I said in the other video, big lead on these shots. But I mean, he can see, if he's paying attention, he can see that, and he can avoid them. And we got a whole mess of trouble off to our left. But I'm doing my best to save this Bogue right now. And he's fighting, but the torps are in the water. There's really not a whole lot left that he can do. And I'm still too far away to really get accurate shots on him.
The enemy team is taking the lead.
Did get him a little bit. But now the Bogue is just screwed either way. He's got the destroyer on his left. He's got other enemy ships on his back, behind him, on his right. There's really nowhere he can go. So that destroyer's gone.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
And now we have another Aoba. That guy has 3 kills up there. I don't know if he has them now, but he does get 3 kills before this battle's over. And we're gonna have to do something about that. I know there's other enemies off to our, and the Bogue's gone. I know there's other enemies off to our left, but this is the guy that I'm worried about right now. Now he's broadside onto me. Well, now he's not, but he was. He's headed for the border. But I'm pointed straight at him, and this is how I like to engage in this ship. Same as the Furataka, really. Like I said, if you figured out how to do well in the Furataka, you should be just fine in this ship, even better. That is another Phoenix. Still worried about that guy. I'm suffering a moment of indecision here because there's a lot of targets in the middle. And if I'm angled towards the Aoba, and there's another Aoba, but he's about to go down. I think he's about to go down before my shells get there. Yeah. I'm trying to angle towards him, but there's all these other ships, dangerous ships, that are off to my left and looking at my citadels. But they're engaged with the rest of my team. So hopefully I won't have to worry about them, and I can just focus this guy down. Now the angle he's at is not great for us. I mean, we're still going to shoot at him, but the angle he's at is not great. But he's about to make a turn. And that's what we want to see. Just a little bit more to the left. A little bit more to the left. Turn more to the left. There we go. That's what I want to see. PM me your citadels, girl.
We destroyed an enemy cruiser.
And that's all there is to that. So, we have New Mexico in front of us. Now, I've still got a whole lot of health, and I'm getting greedy here because I really want to torp him. But this is what I was talking about at the beginning. You have to swing out really wide to make this shot. And that's a horrible position to be in with him that close. This is not a smart move, except for the fact that he's not looking at us. And if I was smarter than I am, I probably wouldn't have taken that shot in hope that he wouldn't have noticed that I was there. I mean, you saw earlier with the tunnel vision that I had that I didn't notice our whole right flank was gone. And he was probably focused on those other guys, and if I hadn't shot, he might not have noticed I was there. Maybe, maybe not. But we got one hit on him with those torpedoes. And he's pretty messed up. So now we can try to go in for the kill. This is gonna hurt. That's a New Mexico up there, by the way. Now he's got a long reload. We might be safe to go with the torps here. But his secondaries are on us now. So, again, not necessarily the best position. Or definitely not the best position. Possibly not a very good decision. But he's gone before our torps get there. And our torps will hit him. You'll hear that in a second. So, what's left? Looks like just the enemy CV, the Zuiho. And there go our torps on the what's left of the New Mexico. But I mean, it's only a matter of time for this guy. Although I do want to make one last point here. I've got his dive bombers are coming in, and normally cruiser captains will not activate defensive fire on a dive bomber because a CV tactic is to send your dive bombers in first, get the cruiser to activate the defensive fire, and then you come in with your torp bombers and really clean them up. But I didn't think he was going to send his torp bombers after me. I thought he was going to go after the destroyers, which he did, so we're all right with that. I mean, I was on pretty low health there. But the other thing to consider is the hull is not upgraded yet. I could have another 4,000 health to work with, and I'm still doing all right. But anyway, it's just a matter of time for this Zuiho, so let's go over to the post-game stats. So, I don't know about you, but I call that a pretty good result. 280,000 credits and almost 4,600 in experience earned. 3 ships sunk, 75 hits, 5 citadels. Those lovely, lovely citadels. 2,036 base experience earned, as well as the First Blood achievement. And we earned that score by doing a bit more than 48,000 in AP damage, almost 21,000 in HE damage, 6,700 in fires, 6,800 in flooding, and a little bit under 9,000 for our one torpedo hit. Not records by any means, but that's pretty darn good in my book. So to wrap this up, I just want to say that I think the Aoba is a fantastic ship. And I would even go so far as to say that I think I might like it better than the Cleveland. Now hold on. I'm not saying I think it's better than the Cleveland. Just that for right now, I like it more. I like the flat trajectory of the shells as opposed to the really high arc that the Cleveland has. And I just love those big guns. But the Aoba I actually got to in the closed beta. I didn't go past it because I was really focusing on the American cruisers, and I got up to the Baltimore because I was trying to get the Des Moines. Well, initially I was trying to get to New Orleans because that's where I live, but then I was trying to go for the Des Moines before the closed beta ended. And sadly, I didn't get there. Only got to the Baltimore, and I didn't progress because I was focusing on that so hard. I didn't get past the Aoba. So it's good to be back, and I don't know what to expect. I haven't read a whole lot about the Miyoko. So if it's good or bad, I'm gonna have to look into that. But the Aoba's great. I'm loving it right now. And I mean, who knows? I just might not go past this if the Miyoko's terrible. But we'll burn that bridge when we come to it. Also, if you've got a better replay of the Aoba, I would love to see it. Please email it to me. If you don't know how to activate replays, check the video description. There'll be a link in there to tell you how to do that, as well as my email address. But until then, I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.